want, would you be interested in doing it again?
See, if there is an interference from the government and other various things, then I don't think I would want to get into, getting into fighting an election for a president. But yes, if everybody feels that I can do a job, I'm okay with it. But if there is somebody else who's going to sincerely do good for Indian football, I'm more than happy to support. So it does not need to be, I need to be president. I am anyway contributing for Indian football after my retirement as well. You've seen the kind of grassroots football, including my own club, United Sikkim. I forgot to mention, today United, apart from BBFS giving 30-40 players to Indian team, today United Sikkim is given the national team captain Sandesh Jhingan. He was with United Sikkim from the age of 17. He stayed with us for 5 years. And he had just come back with his knee injury. We gave him that. He stayed with us and gone on to play for India. So that's the kind of thing I've been contributing. But yes, if somebody is there who's going to do sincerely, I'm there to support. But if people feel that I can do it, I'm open to it, but I'm not going to fight election.
Not going to fight election?
No, if there's a lot of interference and there's no.
Sushmita.
Definitely, yes. I think there has been a huge tussle between Igor and the president. And I think under Igor, we won tournaments here in India, beating Kuwait. And we know how our president went and jumped and hugged and showed all across with running across. But then suddenly after that, I don't know what happened. So the tussle between the coach and the president obviously was very unfortunate, because the way I think as a president to manage a coach, he had no experience. And let's see in record what Igor Stamets has said. He's made it on record through press media. He said Kalyan Choube is only interested for his political gain. And it's not my words, it's Igor Stamets. So today is the first time where we have a president of Football Federation, a history of, I think, any federation in India, using political mileage, just not on the field but also off the field during election, is offering some opposition leader to support him so that he will give you post in AFF president, which is he's downgraded so much of the president and the federation, and it is shameful for him. But at the same time, I think he's also letting his party down, and he's not helping the party as well. When you're using a post of president in a federation, football federation, and you are using your political gain to offer somebody in opposition that AFF में ये post देगा आपको, आप मुझे support करो. This has never happened, and this is where I think his political party also should take note of him and make sure that it is definitely damaging the party as well, and it's not helping football and the party. So, first question I've already answered. Second question near ISL. I'll speak in Hindi and English together. मुझे सुनने में आया, कई मीडिया लोग भी बोला कि कल का रिपोर्ट में आया था कि बाईचुंग ने ये डील रुका दिया. मुझे खुद को मालूम नहीं कि मैं इतना पावरफुल हूँ कि ISL का डील रुकाने. अभी मैं डिक्लेयर करता हूँ आप लोग के सामने, ये डील खुलना होना चाहिए, कल ही साइन कर लो. तो मेरे पास इतना पावर है कि नहीं. So jokes aside, I think, see, these are things which Federation has been dealing with ISL and FSDL. Only in that meeting there was a discussion that happened, and I asked Federation कि they put a proposal from what FSDL had given it. I said that is FSDL deal, which obviously they would look into their interest. If I have to make a deal, मैं मेरा interest देख के deal बनाऊंगा. I asked Federation, you all are dealing, you already मैं 2-3 बार मिला है, बोल चुका है आप लोग ने क्या प्रपोज किया, आपका क्या डील है FSDL के ऊपर? वो लोग कुछ नहीं था, कोई डील ही नहीं था. वो लोग सिर्फ जा रहा था FSDL के पास, चाय पिज्जा खा के आ रहा था और FSDL का डील सुन के आ रहा था. तुम्हारा प्रपोजल क्या है FSDL के ऊपर? है ही नहीं. आपने कभी इंडियन फुटबॉल का जो एसेट्स का वैल्यूएशन किया है? कुछ नहीं किया है. दूसरा जो डील्स हुआ अक्रॉस इंडिया विद डिफरेंट स्पोर्ट्स, कुछ डील हुआ है, दे हैव नॉट डन एनीथिंग. सो बेसिकली वो लोग जा रहा था, पिज्जा खा रहा था, FSDL का सुन रहा था, ये हमारा डील है, और वापस आ रहा था. There was nothing from our side to give it. So which is very, very unfortunate. And somehow I think now obviously the court has said that the deal has to come after after the judgment and the constitution and the new body's fee been made. So I hope all the parties coming together have a proper sit down and look at interest of everything else, but most importantly FSDL to clubs, ISL clubs to the federation and I-League. The main agenda, one agenda should be Indian football and the national team doing well. How can we take this forward? What are the long-term and short-term plans? This has to be discussed properly and take it forward whatever the deal is been signed. So this is where again I say ignorance Kalyan Chobega. First of all, 1 lakh rupiya nahi tha, 2 lakh rupiya tha monthly. So it was 2 lakhs. Mr. Patel had given me the offer to advise. I said I'm not going to advise free of cost because I have my own works to do. And that time, if you remember, AIFF and India was hosting Under-17 World Cup. And this happened, I think, in 2015, the offer was coming. And I was also the technical committee chairman then. I was just leaving it up. So when I was a technical committee chairman, Indian football ranking was 175. Then after 1-2 years, the contract of previous coach got over. We as a chairman, we committee decided to bring in Stephen Constantine. After that, there was planning strategy with federation. From 175, we broke into top 100. And that's the time my 3 years term came to an end. And Mr. Patel said, we are hosting Under-17 World Cup and you'll have to be part of it. I said, I can't do it. Technical committee chairman, actually at least you should be paid. I feel IM Vijayan should be paid if you are giving some time and knowledge. He's not getting paid. I think in future technical committee chairman should be paid. But as an advisor, Under-17 World Cup was very, very important for us. And if you look at the result of Under-17 World Cup, I think FIFA has acknowledged that it was the best Under-17 World Cup ever organized by any country. And that is what the entire team put it. And when I left as a technical advisor, we were in top 100 at that time. So the contribution and knowledge what I got brought in, obviously through my academies, BBFS, with football, right now, I think everybody can see that. Today, in fact, Baichung Bhutia Football Schools and Academy is the only academy and football business, business model which we are the only one who are not making loss in India. Look at today, FSDL to ISL to clubs to everybody, academy clubs, सब लोग बोलता है पैसा चला गया loss में. But I can proudly say that BBFS is the only model today, despite producing players for India and ISL and I-League and giving a lot of players to a lot of clubs, smaller and bigger clubs. We are the only model that is sustained and we are not in loss. And when I signed as an advisor, I think I've left it where where ranked 171. We won a lot of tournaments. We also did very well with Under-17 World Cup in terms of performance, in terms of organization. And I think that is where Kalyan will have to realize, rather than I'm in Exco committee, if he had brains, he should be actually taking advice and saying, "Isko आगे कैसे लेके जाना है." But चुप के वो लोग मीटिंग के आगे, एक्सको के मीटिंग के आगे, दे और 4-5 आदमी गैंग होके वो लोग डिसाइड कर लेता है एंड एक्सको में आके एक वो करता है, एक वो करता है, दे ऑल एग्री टू सर्टेन पॉइंट्स. I get shocked when, especially when they are restricting academies to not allow kids from other state to play. How can you do that? आपको जितना academies हो, छोटा बड़ा हो, खेलने दो ना, बच्चे लोगों को खेलने दो, academies आने दो. At the end ये लोग करके क्या होगा? Academies को फायदा होने से ठीक है, लेकिन इंडियन फुटबॉल को फायदा होगा, प्लेयर्स निकलेगा. आप खुद टूर्नामेंट्स और एकेडमीज का प्रोग्राम थ्रू आउट 6 months का नहीं कर पा रहा है. जितने भी स्टेट बेचारा फाइनेंशियल प्लान्स में वो लोग 1 महीना का एकेडमी ग्रासरूट प्रोग्राम कर लेता है, 1 महीने के बाद 11 months में वो बच्चे लोग गांव में किसी को फुटबॉल आएंगे. So very very unfortunate, and now he goes on to say ये कर रहा है वो कर रहा है. I think let him come and run a football academy coaches, 220 coaches who are retired, who are ex-footballers, state level ka, we pay them, we don't, they don't do free of cost. Grounds come in a huge cost. He doesn't realize that because he's never done that. So directly after doing politics while playing, he comes directly with no experience of football background in terms of running, administrative, academy, coaching, gets directly put there, which obviously a lot of people जो उनको support किया था उस समय, today they are regretting it. They are saying गलती हम लोग ने भी किया है. So which I am very happy that they have realized that what they have done. So I hope next election जब होगा they don't make that mistake. Bring anybody who's got sincere heart to take football forward, but not somebody who wants to do all the dodgy deals. That is one big example of big bad management skills. Now Subroto Pauler strength ki ache. He's a great goalkeeper, one of the best goalkeepers India has. His strength aaj ke if we utilize him properly, get him to under 17 or a goalkeeper training session or goalkeeper coach under 17, 19 or even senior India team and put him there. His strength is that. He's got great experience. But उसको क्या कर दिया? Director डाल दिया उधर, football director. Now you brought Manalo Marcus, who is one of the greatest success who's had in Indian football, one of the most experienced coach. उसको आप दायित्व दे दिया, responsibilities दिया India team को आगे ले जाने के लिए, with all his experience, with all his results, and then उसके ऊपर you bringing Subroto Paul to see Manalo Marcus कैसे coaching कर रहा है. Isn't that stupid? It's like putting Pep Guardiola के ऊपर, I would put Dulalde as director of football. आप देख लो Pep Guardiola कैसे कर रहा है. आप देखना इसका. It's so stupid, bad management. It's an insult to Manalo Marcus. How can you do that? Either don't you utilize Subroto's strength where he is great experience in goalkeeping. Let him take care of under 17, 10 goalkeepers, or set him an academy which he is thinking with Oliver Khan. Let him train the goalkeepers. I think he'll do a much better job. But what will Subroto do in national team? Manalo Marcus कौन सा formation में खेल रहा है, कौन सा player utilize कर रहा है, क्या मालूम Subroto को? Experience what Manalo and Subroto has got is a huge difference, sky and earth difference है. तो क्या बोलेगा क्या? Report में हम लोग को क्या देगा? And report भी क्या दे रहा? हाँ हम लोग गया था, बहुत कोशिश किया player लोग ने, लेकिन हार गया. What is that report? If you are going as technical, then you should say 4-4-2, 4-3-3. Your formation में central midfield का खराब था, ये choice इधर में वो lacking था, इसका ball position attacking में था, हम लोग counter attack में defend नहीं कर पाए, compact नहीं रखा, nothing like that. कोशिश बहुत किया player लोग ने, भालो खेले चलो, चेष्टा अनेक करे चलो, but unlucky हेरे गए. अरे ये तो आप जो भी बना, आप भी एक report बना लेगा, वही टाइम report दिए देवे, चेष्टा करे चलो हेरे गए बस. It's not. So this is just bad management. Ideally, it's not bad because we've seen politicians run the federation, and I won't say Das Munshi ji or Praful Patel has done a bad job. Look at 3 साल देखने के बाद I think Mr. Das Munshi and Praful Patel has done a great job than what our footballer लेके आया. And because of Kalyan today, हम लोग footballers लोग मर रहा है because when footballer was given a chance to head the federation, he's messed it up. Today वो तो खुद तो बर्बाद नहीं किया. हम लोग sports person, just not footballers, across sports person in India is being tagged badly and will be an example of Kalyan कि इसको मौका दिया player को क्या किया. Now we are being tagged in that light. It's damaging to all of us, which is so unfortunate. So yes, non-political people, a political person can come because federation is also going to hire professionals. So these are the professionals who's going to come in as general secretary, who's as a CEO. You get somebody great with a lot of marketing knowledge. He doesn't need to have football knowledge. Football knowledge can come with technical committee. There are a lot of other people who can give it. But there are a lot of marketing, sales, marketing, running of the federation. I think that skill will have to come in as a general secretary. And knowing obviously football as well, how the football market is. because Indian football market and the world football market are so different. So we need to bring in who's got the football knowledge in India and who's also aware of world football. I'll give you a basic example. एक छोटा example मैं दे देता हूँ. When I was working with second season of ISL, मैं ATK था उस समय. ATK के साथ काम कर रहा था. And that time I had advised ATK management saying that you have to, because those days second season में मोहन बगान ईस्ट बंगाल नहीं खेल रहा था. I advised them कि आपको मोहन बगान ईस्ट बंगाल तो उस समय इंटरेस्ट नहीं था. मोहन बगान was willing. I advised buy मोहन बगान out. This is the important. This is going to help your football grow. I advised them to make sure that I spoke to Mohan Bagan. They're willing to sell. I told them, but ATK had बड़ा मैनेजमेंट किया, बिजनेस मैनेजमेंट, CEO, AO, वो करके लाया, वो लोग चला रहा था. And they didn't buy it. Right after 5-6 years they bought it, which was 5-6 years later than what I had advised. So sometimes it's just not about management guys as well. Knowing corporate and doing your presentation is not going to take football forward. There are out of the box thinking. You need to know what the culture of football in Calcutta is very different from culture of football in Kerala. The fans in Goa and Northeast are very different from fans in Calcutta. In Bengal today, I can write it down today in front of you. There will be no other club coming in apart from East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, Mountain Sporting. Maybe Diamond Harbour is coming. How long it will last, I don't know. But to last 100 years, there will be no other club apart from Mohun Bagan, East Bengal and Mountains lasting next 100 years. There won't be. Diamond Harbour might come, I don't know how long they will last. But I can give you in writing, there will be no other club that will run next 100 years apart from, because you're not born East Bengal supporter, you're not East Bengal supporter of Mohun Bagan. You're born East Bengal, you're born Mountain, you're born Mohun Bagan. It's a legacy. And when players play for this club, they need to realize you're playing for legacy of somebody else. And the prestige is very high. So that's why when the prestige and legacy is so high, you have the reaction of the fans as well emotionally. So a lot of big players can't settle in Calcutta. They can never play because जो प्रेशर कैलकाटा फुटबॉल में मिलता है वो कहीं इंडिया छोड़ के वर्ल्ड का बहुत सारा काम में प्रेशर मिलता है. सो दे विल नेवर बी एबल टू टेक दैट प्रेशर. जाके दूसरा जो प्रेशर नहीं है, हम जैसे एक बार जेसीटी में खेला, प्रेशर नहीं है, चलो हारो जीतो पराठा तो खा के आ जाता है. सो दैट प्रेशर लेना नहीं सकता है इन बंगाल. सो दैट इज द थिंग. सो दैट इज वेयर आई डोंट सी any club that would come in and establish and run for next 100 years. I think only these three clubs can do it. And you need to know that. So that is where I think anybody being involved with football should know the football structure, fans, across different parts, how it works, how it functions, how do you sell football in Bengal, what is the sentiment in football in Goa, Northeast. And then you can't go in like great Kalyan Chobe president, Northeast का player बहुत नाटा है, वो नहीं खेल पाएगा, राजस्थान से ढूंढना पड़ेगा. This is in social media. I don't know how much it is true. Now you have a president who's got 90% of your players right now in all the clubs and India team from Northeast, and he goes to people in Northeast saying that आप लोग बहुत नाटा है, नहीं सकेगा, राजस्थान से लाना पड़ेगा. Isn't that hurting? Entire Northeast is upset with him. You go to any Northeast football fans, ask them how is Kalyan Chobe. They will tell you the answer. I don't need to tell you. They will tell you the answer of Kalyan Chobe. On the नाटा लोग नहीं सकेगा. Is that what you will say? You don't have any responsibility.
Okay.
Dubai. Michael Chopra, Newcastle United player, Premier League player, came and trained with us. We were trying to get him to play for India. Obviously, it didn't work out. So these efforts have been there. Stephen Constantine tried a lot of OCI players to bring in. So at the end, obviously, it is government policy as well. But as far as Kalyan making that 33 players के साथ contact है, let him give the list of 32 players and show us the email what they have been sharing with the 32 players. वो खाली फेंकने से बोलने से नहीं होता है. It's not been. In fact, OCI players have actually called up the federation saying we would want to, rather than federation going out. He's been now suddenly bad results. He's suddenly woken up to OCI players. 3 years he's not put any effort to bring in OCI players. He's even said that budget जो है फेडरेशन का हमारा नेटवर्क से हमारा नाम से डबल करके लाऊंगा सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट से. In fact, बजट ही अभी चला गया, जितना था वो भी चला गया, डबल लाना तो छोड़ ही दो. So where is he? Does he have an email? Does he have anything where OCI, they have written to OCI players? He saying 33 players. Sure, put it in the public domain then. But it is important. Yes, OCI players, if they are capable, they are, there. If the government of India, I think, in couple of years, I'm quite confident that the government of India, because we are trying to host Olympics, we are trying to host Asia Cup, and the government has been very open and supportive to sports in India today. And they've been trying to organize big tournaments, big events, and trying to support a lot of sports person and getting them into even federation, which obviously football federation में गलती किया वो लोग ने, but they've been trying to do that. So I think if you want to perform, if they also realize that, then somewhere they will have to be flexible in giving opportunity, because I was in Mission Olympic Committee with Government of India, and we funded our athletes for Olympics very, very well. And the fund we gave it to the athletes in support was one of the best in the world. But despite that, obviously, little bad luck with a lot of shooting range. So, okay, we didn't win that kind of medal. Neeraj Chopra, we had hoped for gold, but suddenly the guy threw only, he had that luck. Sometimes luck also plays that. So when you realize that we definitely need to improve in performance medals, I think somewhere Government of India would be open to OCI players, just not in football but other sports as well, and I hope that they will allow. See, আমি रिप्लाईটা हिंदी में बोलबो. देखिए, जो गवर्नमेंट का भी सोच था, चाहे स्टेट या गवर्नमेंट, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का, जो भी स्पोर्ट्स चलाता है, जो भी कोई भी एसोसिएशन चलाता है, सिंसियरिटी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के पास था कि अभी चांसेस प्लेयर्स लोगों को देना चाहिए, which was a thing for government of India, which is a great thing, which I appreciate and which I thank for government of India for letting players come and run the federations and the associations. But it is also duty of government, whether it's state or the central, to make sure that you bring in the right people. And I had told the government then, we are supporting Kalyan to be, because he was in a particular party, they were supporting. I said, he's the wrong guy, bring anybody else who can help, but he's the wrong guy, because I knew him as a player. We've grown up together, I've seen him. I said he was a... So now after 2.5 years, 3 years, they have realized he was definitely a disaster, which is a good thing. But it's a good initiative. Government, even in Bengal, even in center or even in other states, are now pushing players to come and run the federation. And we've seen one of the biggest example is Saurav Ganguly. I think he's done a great job. Bengal cricket ke kodo aage nahi che, tarpore he's come in and taken BCCI. And those are, I think, is done by the state and the government, and that is the kind of benchmark and that is the kind of thing we need to look forward. But sometimes even the government and the political parties, only because हमार झोलाटा कैरी कर पे, बैगटा कैरी कर पे एक president बनावो बोले, then I think you are going to be a disaster, and that is what it's happened. Just because I carry your bag, yeah, this guy will carry my bag, एक president. I think we need to be very, very careful on that. So this is also a warning in future to state and the center, that wherever you make it, please do the research, background search, and get the right people there. Last not this.
তুমি সুনীল ছেত্রীকে তৈরি করে দিয়ে গিয়েছিলেন, কিন্তু সুনীল ছেত্রীর পর একটা স্ট্রাইকার নেই। ভারতীয় ফুটবলের সবচেয়ে বড় সমস্যা হলো একটা ভালো স্ট্রাইকারের অভাব। এই জায়গাটায় তুমি কি বলবে? এবং সেখানে বিদেশি যে 4টে বিদেশি খেলছে, তোমাদের সময় 3টে ছিল, 6টা রেজিস্ট্রেশন, এটা কতটা দায়ী? কোনোদিন যদি তুমি সভাপতি হও, বিদেশি সংখ্যা কমাবে?
First of all, in today's modern football, we don't see many strikers. আপনি যে গেমটা revolve করে গেছে, if you look at teams which are doing so well, now they have one striker, number 9. Or number 9 who is not for mostly scoring goals. Today look at the data of the highest goal scorers. Cristiano Ronaldo, not out and out striker, he's an attacking midfield, attacking striker. Look at Lionel Messi, who is also not out and out striker. So why are we complaining striker night, striker night? Today we don't expect strikers to score goals. We are playing with just one number 9. A lot of clubs in the world does not even play with strikers. They play with 4-3-3. Those are all attacking midfielders and they can score goals. So we are only complaining, and the real fact is we are complaining India is striker nahi. Look at Sunil Chhetri, fourth highest goal scorer in the world. That is the best. He's the 4th highest goal scorer in the world. So where have we not produced striker? Today look at Portugal or Argentina. Name a second striker after Ronaldo. We don't know who's going to score that. So we can't say that we've not produced striker. Because Sunil Chhetri has proved that he scored goals and he's been the 4th highest. And Cristiano is there. But countries can only produce 1 or 2 once in a life generation. And today, if you look at Portugal, you tell me next striker who scores as many goals as Cristiano, we don't find it. So Sunil is still playing. So hopefully we will find somebody to come in, but he's still playing for the club and the country, and we've still produced. So we can't say that we've not produced strikers. We produced one striker that has been the 4th highest goal scorer in the world. So we can't say in India that हम लोग के पास striker नहीं है. And all countries only produces 1 or 2 in the lifetime of generation. So last question. So your question is if Kalyan Chobe is being removed, if football is going to change. I can assure you, अपना के guarantee देते पारबो कि ऐसे की खराब होने ना. वो तो ऊपर जावे, I can assure you, but it is not going to be disaster than what it is. And there are a possibility more it continues, it can go more down. So ऐसे की नीचे जावे ना, एखाने possible, but there are more chances of going up. So going up, I can't guarantee you, but I can guarantee you that it's not going to go worse than this. Second thing is, question ही आप लोग उनके ऊपर ही ज़्यादा किया, तो I have to reply on those points. Policies लेके, so every policies whatever अभी coaches का appointment से लेके league का I league जो champion नहीं हो रहा है, it's everything is got to do with it because मैं ex-co में हूँ, so I know how it has been operated. It is just one man dictatorship that he puts it, everybody has to agree time. And that has happened in front of me when appointing a national team coach bypassing technical committee. So now when he is in danger, he is reflecting to the technical committee ko puchega. But actually it is one man show. So I can assure you that Indian football, removing Kalyan Chobe is not going to go downwards than what it is gone. But I can't assure you how much up it will go. It will take time, planning and strategy is required. But I can assure you, it will. Thank you very much.